I can't really fully believe I'm doing this release, man. It's so surreal. It's this band, man. Everything about it is just way too much. Hello world, how are you doing? I hope you're loving 2017 so far as much as we do, because it's only, or should I say already, has been 2 weeks and so many amazing music came out, so many great news. I feel #blessed through a couple of past days and destroyed at the same time, because a bunch of our favorite musicians came out with all this brand new different material, and it's all so good, and I'm so excited, and destroyed at the same time, destroyed emotionally completely. Like the XX, they came back after 5 years absence. Well, absence is not particularly correct for that. They toured after Coexist, their second album, for a while, and Jamie, under Jamie XX, had his incredible solo release In Color, with which all three of them also performed. I remember that Loud Places performance at some late night show, which felt so dissonant and so surreal at the time, because at the time most of us were so used, or well, should I say brainwashed by the media. Some others were brainwashed by the media, who really loved to put depressive label around them. We were used to the XX in the shadows, hiding behind the instruments, and being a really moody, minimalist, skeletal, somnambulist sounding band from debut album or Coexist. And Jamie's release, including Loud Places and Stranger in the Room, both featuring Romy and Oliver, and those performances with them almost felt wrong. Like, this is not the XX I knew, this is not them, which eventually disappeared. And in 2016, when On Hold came out, it didn't feel like that at all, which I found quite surprising, thinking about it after a while. I think it's, let's call it the inevitable evolution thing, kind of. We all remember how at the beginning we could really feel all the struggle and all the pain the band had with their performing and their sudden fame and with showcasing themselves. And it's all really all gone. It's still there in a way, the awkwardness. I mean, watch the SNL performance, I loved it, but it's kind of funny, and just how humble and real they are still, and how adorable they are between each other. Like, I love all three of them. They're goals of friendship. So they're still an absolute same band. Nothing really has changed that much, besides the fact that they grew up, and not only them, the listeners also grew up. I See You, their third album, is fully up to the Inevitable Change label. There's still complex arrangements, the so breathtaking and emotional dialogue, storytelling between Romy Madley Croft and Oliver Sim through the dream pop vocals, the R&B, pop, the Cure influences. It's all still there, but this time around the gang explores further. There's a strong feeling of swagger on this record. Like, they're super comfortable in their own skin now, and they know exactly what they can do and how to do it. And they all like chill down, sharing their thoughts and their art and their pain with you, like you're on the intimate house gig just right next to them. When you put in the album and the very first synthetic horns come out, you either question yourself if this is an actual The XX album you're listening to, or if this band finally realized that they can do practically anything now. On Dangerous, the phenomenal opener track, you could catch yourself thinking that it's a lot In Color, Jamie XX In Color solo release influenced. But the thing is that influenced, maybe not, but of course Jamie Smith now is producing differently, and in a lot of ways boldly. Plus, when Ollie's bass line and vocals come in and Romy catching up with her beautiful voice, it's kind of clear at that point that this is the XX record, where all three of them create songs that matter, that stuck in your head and that make you feel emotional. Dangerous, though, it does make you dance as well. The Roy Davis Jr. horns plus the dance hall, which, okay, I agree, I wasn't expected that on the XX record. The subtle beats, this track has potential of a huge club banger. I could only imagine the remixes of it. By itself, it already sounds like a dance remix. I also love how Romy and Oliver cross-speak each other about a love affair and how it's about to draw them deep, but at the same time, it's really hard not to hear lines like, they say we're in danger, but I disagree, or because I couldn't care less if they call us reckless, as a proclamation of we don't give a fuck attitude, kind of, and as a response to everyone who still think that the XX are boring or uninteresting. Then there's beautiful Say Something Loving, one of the pre-released tracks, with yet again proving different approach to the music making, with Alessi Brothers' Do You Feel It sampled with all the rich palette of synths and this all of a sudden almost dub-like turn. Lyrically, it's one of my favorite tracks on the album, addressing the longing for feelings that fade away and love. It's really beautiful, and I can repeat it on every track. I love Oliver's and Romi's vocals a lot. Alone, together, doesn't matter, really beautiful. Lips is my current ultimate favorite track on the record. I get really trapped with the tropical beat unexpectedly. Romi's almost flirtatious guitar, Oliver's charismatic vocal delivery, and this gospelish additions throughout the track, which I thought were an incredible detail. I can't help myself but feel some sort of almost sexual atmosphere on Lips, with help of some lyrics and beat, and overall kind of bangs, FK twigs, reminiscent, gentle flirting, but here much more full of tender, I guess. I don't really know how to explain it more clear, but yeah, I just really love that track, and once again, remixed, feels like it could be a next big summer club hit. So far in the album, the tracks kind of pair up each other. At one side we have the beat and the groove, at the other side we have the more minimal and the more delicate. A Violent Noise is one of the delicate ones, instrumentally reminding me some EDM. I got some PC music, Flume, Disclosure, or just general Euro House influenced vibes from it. Discussing the album, we got to the point that we love that track, but it feels like it misses the drop beat there, which I think is explained within the amazing lyrics of this song about, I guess, hiding your troubles and your fears within the partying, careless lifestyle, which is not the first time it's addressed by Oliver Sim, who recently had some problems with it. The track does feel like the deezing, sleeping away dance club, with crowds of people disappearing in the dark to the hardest beats. So A Violent Noise needed to be that in your head music rather than a banging piece. One of the standout, perfectly placed within the list tracks on the album, which I think perfectly connects I See You with the two previous The XX albums, especially the debut one, is Performance, with Romi's heart-wrenching monologue about putting disguises and hiding the pain underneath, with her tender voice almost shaking at the turns of the track, with some incredible dissonant strings behind, rumored to be played by Jamie himself, who learned to play violin just for that album. I'm not sure if that's correct, but if it is, then wow. With the toned down bass, and all these broke by silence before the fragile, hurting guitar comes in. It's a heartbreaking, beautiful track. Then followed by another heartbreaking track, this time Oliver Sim taking the lead on Replica, with some painful lyrics about, probably the most painful lyrics about lack of free will and problems with self-identity and individuality, about party life abuse and all the problems it could serve to the young people, with time now just like you, do I chase the night or does the night chase me, and is it in my nature to be stuck on repeat? The only things that kind of keep that track from being absolutely destroying is bandmate support, with Romi's beautiful voice underneath, harmonically matching with all the keys, and once again, unexpected, another tropical beat. Beautiful Braid for You track, quite heartbreaking as well, kind of mirrors Performance melodically and lyrically, and Romi again taking the lead. It's really interesting about that track production wise is how Jamie manages to stay in between the minimal the poignant, and the celebratory, the epic. This kind of production is perfect for sing-along, modern sing-along arena ballads. Brave for You, a song where Romy talks about her parents' deaths and I believe her significant other, is an actual ideal representation of this kind of ballad. I love the guitar here. Again, I think it speaks almost as compelling as Romy herself. It's beautiful. After this 3 hardcore, heartbreaking tracks, we have On Hold, which feels like a getaway full of hope, love, tender, and beauty. Still in pain, but accepting it kind of. It's a lead single which perfectly balances the half muted tones, crisp guitar, groovy bass line. Romy and Oliver sing about love affair and relationships end. Including all of that, On Hold, funny enough, has a sense of playfulness in it. Like the XX finally let go, got relaxed, eased their control, which was so evident during their past 2 records. Like, even though Romy and Ollie sing about heartbreak, it sounds like they smile at each other and at Jamie. Simply that I Can Go For That No Can Do by Hall & Oates originally. It's really good. Equally, I Dare You continues the feeling, this time with straightforward beat and some faded away shadows of gosh behind. I see you, Jamie. Harmonized vocals with Madley Croft and Sims sing about such topics as infatuation and probably taking responsibilities and self-realization, all of that. It's another danceable hit on the record and a good material for a festival anthem. Test Me track concludes the record, and it's a much more eerie story about all the past downs band has experienced for a couple of past years, with them kind of singing not to us, the crowd, the audience, but to each other, which I found incredibly emotional. It's again very sensual and very ambient put-it track, which is beautifully produced and arranged. I wish the digital chaos at the end of it would reach a highest point by the end of the track instead of just gently fall into the abyss. But it's still a perfect ending for an album like I See You. There are also 2 bonus tracks on the Japanese version of the album. We don't usually talk about the bonus tracks, but I really want you to listen to them. Naive has some of the best lyrics I've heard from the XX, with another unexpected sample paired with harsh as ice piano, shining guitar riff throughout the track. I love this song, it's so beautiful, and both Oliver and Romy, so good. It's a good track. And Seasons Run, again, so good, with a head nodding guitar bass, some clapping, some almost indie folk or dream pop atmosphere. It has everything, and all of it works really well. These 2 bonus tracks are no less amazing than the whole 10 tracks long album. After re-listening to I See You for about 100 times now, I can say that it's definitely the most adventurous record the XX have ever done, which floats on the edge between the desperate that drags you down and the desperate, the pain, the struggle you accept and go over to live your life, leave it behind, to be experienced on it and uplifted, actually, with hope and love and support. I'm not the only one struggling with all this music releases. My SD card just broke up with me and died. Cool, right? But we keep going with this one. Artistically, I See You by the XX is a record which provides space for all the 3 members of the band to let their talents shine and let them pull the strings further away from each other, which on the contrary only gives more power to this union and reinforce it. Oh boy, the XX. Some people love to talk about how this band came in the right moment and how the success and their fame were a well thought through thing or just a lucky coincidence. I personally strongly disagree with that. I don't see the XX as being overrated, as being hyped up too much. I know for myself that their fame and their success are the results of how incredibly talented they are, and they do what they do well. All the stolen guitar riffs and reminiscent Shelter-esque tunes from dozens of bands after the XX are a clear proof of that. I can talk a lot about this band and this album, but I'm gonna stop here. I mean, my camera, my SD card just broke, so I need to do something about that. We're really interested to know what do you think about this record. Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget that if you want, you can also like and you can also share this video, and you can also subscribe to our channel for more album reviews we will do, and all the music related videos to come. We hope you're getting lost in the magical world of I See You, which was craftily created by Romy Madley Croft, Oliver Sim and Jamie Smith, as well as we are right now, and loving the hell of this record as well as we are all the time. I love the minimal design of it as well, of the record. That I saw the packaging, I saw the box set, amazing. For now, that's it. Kisses, love, peace out.